Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Police revisit crime scene in Commodore Linstead, St. Catherine. Cyber expert says hackers are turning to WhatsApp. And later in sports, more problems brewing for the ASAJ. Thank you for joining us. I'm Janella Precious. Up first, this afternoon, investigations are currently underway into last night's mass shooting in Commodore Linstead, St. Catherine. What was a quiet night turned into horror as gunmen posing as police stormed into a yard and opened fire, leaving 5 dead, including a 4-year-old child. Our reporter Sandy Williams has been in the area and filed this report.
Here at the Rosemount Primary and Infant School, shock and sorrow fill the air after the brutal murder of 4-year-old Shannon Gordon. Shannon was among 5 people killed and more than 9 shot in Commodore last evening when gunmen dressed as police officers entered a yard and opened fire. Now, another student of this same institution was also injured in the attack. Now, classes are being held online because of flooding overnight, but administrators say it has given the teachers and students time to grieve. Counseling sessions will begin tomorrow. Now, the police say the entire JCF has been mobilized and will maintain a presence in Commodore as investigations continue. For the school, Shannon's killing is heart-wrenching and senseless.
I know most of my students, and it is sad. I was with the little young lady recently when we had the launch of a breakfast program, and we were in the same space. We had her. The other young lady who had a student who was injured, she was just about to become a prefect of our school. It's time for us to stop killing our children. And I have all confidence that the Jamaica Constabulary Force will do justly.
This is a disgrace. 4-year-old child murdered. It's wrong. It's wrong, it's ungodly, and this is not Jamaica.
Reporting from the Rosemount Primary and Infant School, I'm Sandy Williams for TVJ News.
We go to the details now of how the incident unfolded. Here's Antonia Atkinson with that report.
Ghost Town. That's exactly what Commodore Linstead feels like right now. But just hours ago, the night turned into something far more gruesome. A deadly mass shooting that has left 5 people dead, including a 4-year-old child and 4 others hospitalized. The deadly attack occurred around 8:45 p.m. Speaking with the TVJ News, Assistant Commissioner of Police Christopher Phillips says that several men posing as police officers went to a yard in the area and opened fire.
It started along the roadway into a yard along Commodore. It was said that they were dressed. Some of the men were dressed in police looking vests, which is pretty concerning for us as investigators at this time because it doesn't represent the kind of operations of the police.
The deceased persons have been identified as 4-year-old Shannon Gordon, 42-year-old Maurice Sullivan, 19-year-old Joshane Edwards, 39-year-old Aisha Washington, and 22-year-old Famous Amos, all of Rosemount District in Linstead. The young child is believed to be the daughter of a BPO worker who herself tragically died in a truck accident just months ago. 3 of the victims were from families connected to a local school, prompting administrators to move classes online as the community reels from the tragedy. In the meantime, ACP Phillips highlighted that despite gruesome crime, murders have been on the decline in Linstead.
Last year, this time, they were seeing something like 20-odd murders compared to just 8 murders up to this point until we have this very unfortunate situation. The indicators so far are suggesting that this might be a continuation of gang conflict, which comes as a surprise to us because really and truly this area has been quiet for a while.
Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
In the meantime, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security and Peace, Dr. Horace Chang, has described as reprehensible yesterday's deadly violent attack in Linstead, St. Catherine. He says the deliberate disregard for human life, especially the life of an innocent child, strikes at the very core of our humanity. He says the incident is being intensely investigated and the criminals will be relentlessly pursued, apprehended and prosecuted. Dr. Chang adds that the National Security Ministry reaffirms its dedication to ensuring that justice is served and that every measure necessary is taken to restore calm and security to the people of Linstead and the wider parish of St. Catherine. The Deputy Prime Minister says the government remains unwavering in its commitment to dismantling criminal networks and the conditions that fuel such acts of violence and terror. To other news now, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, says it has increased its monitoring of social media. This is part of its evolving mandate. Speaking on the Jamaica Information Services Get the Facts, Director of Intake, Investigation and Court Services, Dr. Warren Thompson, explained the agency never sets out to remove children from their home. O'Shane Masters has the details.
The Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, has been in the spotlight recently after the removal of the children of 2 Jamaican TikTokers. But the agency's Director of Intake, Investigation and Court Services, Dr. Warren Thompson, emphasized that when children are taken from their home environment, it is a last resort.
The last thing that we want to do, the last thing, is to remove a child from the family environment. In fact, both the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, the Child Care Protection Act, stated that the family is the preferred environment for children. So we do a number of things to support children in families first. When we initiate an investigation, we try to see, can we support the child to remain at home? It could be through counseling, and we have a whole unit set up for that. Our Child and Family Support Unit is aimed at supporting families, supporting parents, supporting children to prevent or to reduce the likelihood of a need to take the matter before the court for a removal of that child.
And when a child is removed?
When a child has been removed, we create a care plan, and the first thing that we want to do is to pursue reintegration with the family. So when we talk about the life placements, family reintegration is one other program that we have.
Dr. Thompson further highlighted the circumstances under which children are removed.
Of course, children who are being physically, emotionally, or sexually ill-treated. You're talking about those who are being beaten, those who are being sexually abused, as I mentioned, and even those who are hearing constant harsh words spoken to them. I've seen cases with children who have had, basically physical manifestations of what they're experiencing emotionally. People are telling them something. They're going to kill them, they're going to hurt them, they're going to do whatever it is. And those children actually develop physical symptoms.
As for social media, the CPFSA director says the agency has increased its monitoring of the space.
We would have seen where people are engaging in behaviors that suggest that they are not acting in the children's best interest. The children that are around them are the children. So we monitor social media, but of course we rely on the public. Those people who are watching the TikTok live videos, those who are watching the Instagram, to reach out to us when you see content that you believe is not in a child's best interest.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
Now, in a major move to protect Jamaica's children, October 7 has officially been declared National Anti-Bullying Day. The proclamation, signed by Governor General Sir Patrick Allen, follows a push by the Child Protection and Family Services Agency and the Ministry of Education. The initiative aims to tackle bullying in schools and communities with support from agencies like UNICEF, the JCF, and the Ministry of Health. Education Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says schools are activating psychosocial support and peer counseling programs, while national campaigns and student competitions will drive awareness. CPFSA CEO Laurette Adams-Thomas calls it a, quote, national call to action, unquote, to end bullying and promote kindness. Crime has been trending down in St. Mary. That's according to head of the St. Mary Police Division, Anthony Wallace. He provided the update at the start of the annual Business House Domino competition held Sunday at the Port Maria Police Station.
St. Mary is doing an amazing job. Crime is down, or clear-up rate. We have a clear-up rate of over 75%. We're doing amazing things in St.
We have a 9.1 reduction in murders and a 3.8 reductions in shootings. That's very good. So things going on here in St. Mary. As recent as yesterday, there were some rounds that were found. So bringing that total since the start of the year to 23 firearms and 1,225 rounds of ammunition removed from the streets of St. Mary.
In the meantime, Nadia Brooks from the Bureau of Gender Affairs is urging citizens who have been abused not to be afraid to report it.
Our past generation of men would have failed when they don't speak up. So this new generation, this new era need to speak out a lot of the time when you're faced with the issue of domestic violence. So we say when we normalize that men are perpetrator, we can normalize that females are perpetrator when we think about it.
Director of Jamaica's Cyber Incident Response Team Division, Lieutenant Colonel Godfrey Sterling, is warning WhatsApp users of cyber attacks. Speaking on Smile Jamaica this morning, he explained that scammers are sending fake links and messages that appear to be from friends and relatives and then ask for a verification code.
Just be critical. If we don't know the person, if we're unsure about something, use another method of communication to confirm that this transaction, this communication really needs to take place.
Yep. He also cautioned users not to ignore safety alerts that warn a website is unsecured while browsing online.
The challenge we face is how to get persons to change their mindset. So if you're on your personal device and you have a software that says to you, you're leaving a secure environment, are you sure you want to do this? Don't just ignore it because you really want to go there, but check it out before you
So just don't go there?
Sometimes check it by a third party.
It's now time for a break, but stay with us. More stories when we return. And welcome back to the Midday News. It's now time for the Business Minute.
In order to better regulate sensitive and systemically important financial sectors, many regional central banks, including the Bank of Jamaica, are continuing to push for the establishment of financial holding companies. Caribbean countries have enacted different pieces of legislation over the last 2 decades to put them in a better position to regulate the financial institutions locally and internationally. These pieces of legislation include the Banking Services and the Financial Holding Companies Act in Jamaica and the Financial Institutions Act 2008 in Trinidad and Tobago. And further afield, Homeland Security and counter-terrorism funding cuts to New York City and state are being reversed by the Trump administration. The president, in a Truth Social post on Friday, said he called for the reversal of those cuts. In recent days, the cuts to New York had been met with strong pushback from state leaders. New York Governor Kathy Hochul, in a social media post, praised the president's decision to reverse the counter-terrorism cuts. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Aaliyah Bryant.
It's now time for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, a deadly rabies case in southern Haiti is fueling a major public health push. A 9-year-old boy died after being bitten by a stray dog, one of several recent rabies deaths in the country. With support from the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, Haiti is vaccinating over 140,000 dogs and training hundreds of workers to prevent more deaths from the 100% preventable virus. On the international scene, after less than a month on the job, French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu resigned today, just hours after revealing his new cabinet. The Cornu blamed party divisions and egos in Parliament. Markets fell and Tuesday's budget vote has collapsed. Now President Macron must decide whether to dissolve Parliament or call new presidential elections. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Shane Masters.
Thank you, Shane. We head to a quick break now. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.